Oh, I mean, look at that etherite. How shiny. A new world to explore. Ochika Tsunchika has a message for you. Hey. Sorry for interrupting my own video here. Welcome. If it's your first video you see from me, my name is Mingno, aka Andy. What I wanted to say before you watch my playthrough through Dawntrail, there are a couple of things you should know about me. I am the owner of FFXIV or FFXIV a website dedicated to hunts in Final Fantasy XIV. Whenever a new expansion rolls around, I get a lot of info from users of the website about new hunts and locations and where they did find the enemies and images of them and the surrounding area. And I get that info very quickly within just a few hours of the game being released. Because I want the website to be as useful as possible, I try to incorporate all that info as quickly as possible as well. And to see that all these infos don't spoil my own experience with the new expansion, I intentionally and partially spoil myself beforehand. Yes, whenever there is a new expansion that comes around, I check the game data and usually know all the areas and enemies' names even before the early access starts. Also, I can provide info as needed on the website. I obviously don't blurt all of that out into the website. For example, as this video went live, I still did not post the name of the final region or area, and there are no enemy screenshots of these hunt targets on the website right now, at this point. But regardless, I know all of it before the game even starts. What does that mean for the video? Keep that in mind when you watch my 7.0 playthrough. I know more than the average player, and thus my reactions might be a bit less intense than those of other people you may know and have seen. Secondly, because I am always busy with responsibilities outside of the game, I played through the whole story as quickly as I could within roughly 48 hours. Expect to see some tired faces. And finally, last but not least, I have an issue with names. I have trouble remembering them. In my mind I can see, smell, hear, feel anything. Be it a place, a person, a memory, something to eat, all is vividly clear. But the name will probably evade my grasp. You will notice that a lot during the playthrough, that I will omit a name because it just won't come to my mind. Yeah, I guess that's all for an introduction. That should be more than enough, and let's now finally start the video for real. Okay, back to me, I guess. Welcome back, Mingno. I've just had word from Erenville. It seems he's managed to secure passage to Tural aboard a guild ship vessel. Why don't you wait in the main hall while I go and inform your travel companions? It should only take a few moments. Ochika gave us the good news. We've made ready to set sail at a moment's notice. The only one yet to arrive is Erenville himself. Right now. Right on cue. And obviously... Ah! You're all here. It took some precautions, but the Gleaner's Guild ship has granted us places aboard a vessel bound for Tural. There will be other passengers, researchers and artisans and the like, so we'll need to share deck space. That's fine, Erenville. I doubt anyone expected we would have a ship all to ourselves. I mean, look at the detail, the stitching. Ah, and he looks good too. They're not causing off just yet, so if you have any lingering concerns, now is the time to voice them. And Vuklamat? I wouldn't call it a concern, but everyone's still clear on what it is we'll be doing in Tural, yes? We've not forgotten. The Nation of Tuliyollal is in the midst of deciding its next ruler. As your chosen allies, we shall assist you during the Rite of Succession and support your bid to become Dawn Servant. In addition to that, I have another objective. Oh. As part of its reconstruction, Garlemald seeks ways to reconcile and re-engage with its neighbors. Well, Tural isn't really a neighbor of Garlemald, but oh well. By visiting Tural, we hope to learn more about how its myriad cultures interact with one another, how they find common ground, develop stronger ties, the sort of things that might help our friends in Ilsebard. And its insights, not things. But we'll pursue this goal in our own time. You can be assured that we'll give the contest all due attention. That's all I ask, otherwise you're welcome to do as you like. I can't do their accent yet, I have to hear more. You wanted to find out about your grandfather, right, Krell? Galuf. Yes, as far as we could determine from the old missive I found, he had been tasked with investigating the Golden City by your father, the Dawn Servant. Yet oddly enough, we have no record of that investigation in our archives. Nothing to explain the earring which accommodated the letter. Thus, for reasons both official and personal, I should very much like to get to the bottom of this mystery. I'm sure there'll be a chance to speak with Papa. You can get your answers right from the source. I mean, that would be great. I look forward to meeting him. In any case, you're not the only one with an interest in the Gold City, or the City of Gold. I was just in awe by the texture on her face. Not sure how well it's working in the video, but if you see it in real time, the fur really looks a lot better now. The Golden City is a children's bedtime story. I am part of this expedition only because the Third Promise has commanded that I serve as guide. The Third Promise? We have a new name? New name? New name? What's wrong with my voice today? Still playing the part of the Stoic Servant, I see. What of you? Don't you dare tell me you've changed your mind. Yeah. Gonna go with bottom one. That's what they tell me. Right then, if all still committed to the journey, then I say we make ready to depart. Here we go. Eager as they are, the others have already left for the harbor. We are not in danger of missing the boarding call, but perhaps we should be on our way as well. Ah, right in the cutscene. Here we go. That'll be a lengthy cutscene, I think. With all the things that are going to happen during the voyage.
Savoring the moment? I can feel your excitement, your eagerness to explore the unknown.
Well,
yeah, that's not wrong.
For once, the fate of the world doesn't rest on our shoulders.
Not yet.
We might even get a chance to enjoy ourselves.
We will.
Do not be so quick to relax. Oh, Tural may seem but a short sail away on a map. The vast seas between brim with peril. The treacherous waters of Shade's Triangle alone have claimed countless vessels. Even following the safe route plotted by Admiral Butheswin herself, this will be no pleasure cruise.
Perhaps, but my voyage here was uneventful enough. Disappointingly so.
Aww.
Either way, the two of you have first-hand experience, which will be of great comfort in the days ahead, I'm sure.
Yeah, let's hope they stay with us. For the long run.
Aye, it's nothing new to us.
All aboard! We're casting off!
Yeah, let's hurry.
It's time. I trust you have everything you need?
I have my gunblade and my glasses so I can see, so I'm good. the new water animation. Already in action.
And so does our ship cast off from the docks. We sail west, as Captain Ram did some 80 years past, bound for the New World, known to her children as the continent of Tural.
Uklamat. Can't stay still. I wonder when she will take her.
Wait, Papa. When this contest is said and done, it'll be your daughter who sits dethroned. Me, Uklamat.
I wonder when she will take her headpiece off. And the new map. Quite a perfect fit for the music to change right now. That was not planned. Ah, it's just stopped. We are still calm. Very.
Smooth sailing so far?
Aye, so far so good. But this sea, she's a fickle one. Calm one moment, blowing a gale the next.
Foreshadowing? Much?
I'll take my rest while I can then. $2 film deck. Looks funny.
We left port what seems an age ago now, and we've seen naught but open water ahead. I knew Tural was far, but it's another thing to really know.
Yeah, I wonder how long it actually took in real time.
Speaking of which, some of our fellow passengers have made this trip before. Several times, in fact. I was able to learn a few things about Tuliyollal and the Rite of Succession.
Oh?
Since we still have a long way to go, why not have a chat with them yourself? I'm sure you have questions of your own.
Oh? Okay. Yeah, I do wonder how long this journey actually takes in real time.
Did you
Should be
look
days.
out across these same waters, Grandfather?
Yeah, it must be days to cover the distance. I would assume. Anything new? Have you spoken with our shipmates? Tural is still a good distance away and it might be a pleasant way to pass the time. Yeah, you can still do this one. Good. What do you have to say? Hmm? Ah, this will be your first time visit to Tural? Von Jeantin's the name. I was working at Estain's Aesthetics in Hulda, you see, but my employment with them came to an end. That's why I visited Charlie in hopes to starting over. While I was attempting and failing to find a new job, I seized the chance to board this vessel when I overheard room for another passenger had suddenly opened up. I'm told that our servant welcomes all, regardless of origin, and so Tuliyollal seems like the perfect place to begin anew. Hopefully things will be better this time. Hope so too. Alice? I I can feel my edge start to dull on these long sea voyages. Really? Ah, her edge in her sword. How about some light sparring later? Sure. If you want. Retired mercenary, okay. I see you in Orcia before. You great and famous hero. God, I've had enough of playing the simpleton. There was a time when we took great pains to maintain the deception, but with more of you Eorzeans coming to Tural, it's become impractical. Okay, it was just a charade, they couldn't speak our tongue. Besides, my mercenary days are over. Too many of our wayward have fallen, and so we head home to lick our wounds. My story? Well, since you asked, I wanted to retrace the historic journey of the great Kettenram. You know, the first Eorzean to set foot on Tural, almost 80 years ago. Mamulja's leader is said to have welcomed Kettenram with open arms and sent him home with a bounty of silverware as a token of their friendship. But the real treasure was the crops he brought back. Tomatoes and corn, which spread across Eorzea like wildfire. His grand adventure led to a culinary revolution. The tales say Kettenram returned to Tural several times after that, but his ship vanished during his last recorded voyage, and he was never heard from again. That even a seasoned explorer like him could meet such an end is testimony to the ocean's peril. An adventure, I presume? I'm a merchant myself, based in Uldar, specifically in imports and exports, Eorzean and Turali both. If this is your first crossing the salt, as they say, do remember that the social mores of Eorzea are not necessarily the same as those over yonder. Consider this. It is not uncommon for the various races to be referred to instead by the names of certain clans. For the Mitoke, the Hesaro, the Hrothgar, the Ixbral, not because every member of a given clan is of the same race, mind, but because many individuals of said race are associated with that clan. Fair assumption in certain cases, but take care not to give offense. Do you want to make a wager? We're taking bets on who will set next in the Dawn Servant's shiny chair. There are 4 candidates in the Rite of Succession, you young Vuklamat being one of them, of course. But from what a Mamulja bloke was telling me, the other 3 are all strong contenders. Not too many keen to risk their coin on the 3rd promise. Again, that name. I'm told this vessel has been equipped with a barrier generator to protect it from storms. Ah, a reassuring thought, though I nevertheless pray there will be no need for it. Did you learn anything of interest? Yeah, a few things. Oh, I hadn't heard that about the clan names. We should have Vuklamat and Erendil teach us the ones we should know. Actually, it's getting a little chilly here on deck. Let's all gather in the cabin. And here we go. Rain. There is one very weird spot in the sky. Oh well. I'm sure it's nothing.
We're in for a proper storm, it seems.
Okay. Seasick?
How's
the
your
gold looks
stomach
good.
any better?
I don't know what you mean. I don't get seasick.
Yeah, sure.
I'm just feeling A little nauseous is all.
Isn't that what seasickness is?
I mean, it should be.
Erenville, you were born in Tural, yes? Do many Vieira live there?
The Shatona, as my people are called, have settlements mainly in the north, in Shaktural.
Shaktural, okay.
And your family?
That's how you say it.
I know nothing of my father, not even his name. As for my mother...
Yeah? Not getting to know it yet, okay.
We're in the teeth of the nomads! Reef that sail for the last snaps!
Oh dear.
We are right in now, in the storm.
This wind's too strong to take any sail! Man going off the mast! We need help! Get him below decks first!
That doesn't sound good.
Quickly! Before he's washed overboard!
Come,
And
we should lend what aid we can.
Really? You wanna go up there? Well, if you say so.
I have not seen the ocean rage with such fury before or since.
Okay. Yeah, those new light effects are great.
The heaving waves tossed our ship about like a toy, sending sailors tumbling. The dauntless Alizé, quick to the rescue, was almost lost to the sea herself. Meanwhile, our champion rushed to deploy the vessel's magical defenses, and thereby shield us from the lightning.
That took a while to think about this idea.
What an extraordinary life he must lead to be able to operate such a device with practiced ease.
Okay. Why those images?
Buklamat, too, threw herself into the rescue efforts, though one might have mistaken her for another soul in distress.
Is it just the introduction of the characters? Basically? Could be.
By the time the unruly seas had calmed, our strength was all but spent, and we had yet to even glimpse the shores of Tural. In retrospect, of course, that battle against the storm would prove a fitting prelude to the coming contest for the throne.
The line. Yeah. Everything went well so far, or pretty well, I think. Oh, I like that lighting. That looks great. Except for the bit of flickering in the hair. But it's okay. Maybe there are more shadow options I could take. I only glanced through them, so... Everybody else is already gone? Oh. The bright new world.
Morning. Joining us for some fresh air? Seems my belly has settled along with the weather, but I'll feel much better once we're on solid ground. Ugh. Can't be much farther now, can it?
Probably not. We haven't seen the...
Seabirds.
Yeah, that's a good sign already.
Land must be near. You need only hold out a while longer.
We haven't seen the outside of the boat
For a dark
close
moment,
yet,
I
or the
thought
front.
the ocean might swallow us. Glad to have my pessimism proven wrong.
It's probably already there, the new world, it just didn't show us yet.
In other good news, I examined the sailor who took a fall, and he's faring well. I'm sure he'll make a full recovery.
Not to
Good
break
news
your
indeed.
immersion.
If all's well, then we needn't delay in launching the landing boat. Ships have to lower anchors some way from shore. Too close, and they risk having their underbellies ripped open by the reefs that crowd Tuliyollal's coasts. Come.
And... still can't see the front.
Us all this way.
We only did what we were paid to do. Couldn't hardly set you adrift halfway. If anything, it should be us thanking you for helping us through that beast of a storm. As a matter of fact, everyone's starting to fancy your chances in the contest. At this rate, we won't be able to lay wagers no more.
Well,
Then I better not let you down. Easy, stomach. Easy.
yeah, we'll see. The other ones.
We're the last to board. If there's nothing left to say, then let's shove off, shall we?
The other contestants will also be not easy to beat. Just saying. And the benchmark.
Blue seas, clear skies, and boundless possibilities.
And the trailer.
I dare say our destination will soon be in sight.
And tearing
Enjoying
wind.
yourself for a change?
Okay, that's great. That they recreated the whole thing with your character.
There, look, my friends. Behold the scene of our next great adventure.
And now she probably will have her headpiece removed. No, not yet. There we go.
At last, we are come to the land you call the New World. To my home, Tural.
And title drop. Oh, it's night. That's the night theme, in that case of Tuliyollal. Smooth jazz. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba. The corn cup. And up there in the throne room,
Gods. I've seen cities with an impressive mix of cultures, but this is something else.
Is that a... No. I've never seen Vanu feathers in that color before.
Yeah, those are
Much here you never knew existed.
not Vanu. They are different name.
Maybe a sea route now, but visitors to Tuliyollal are still few and far between. And as we don't build seafaring ships, only a handful of Turali ever venture abroad.
Okay.
Mamulja sellswords mostly. Those willing to play the fool sail with Lominsan merchants to secure employment in Eorzea.
I suppose that makes us a rare sight in your country.
Rare and currently undocumented. Were there some forms we should fill out or...
No bureaucracy.
Forms? Did you forget who you're traveling with?
Oh, that armor. Looks great.
You are outsiders? Visitors to Tural?
We are.
Our nation is soon to hold a Rite of Succession to choose its next Dawn servant. We will not abide interference from foreign agents seeking to foment trouble. What brings you to Tuliyollal?
Ah, we are here to help.
I can answer that. These fine people are allies in my succession bid.
Third promise. If you vouch for them, then all is well. Of course.
Please, accept our apologies.
Okay, so she's the third
No
promise.
need to bow and scrape.
That's her, okay.
That our soldiers are so diligent in their duties fills me with pride.
We'll be continuing our patrol then.
But they have quite a respect for her.
Well, well. You really are a figure of
Yeah.
authority here.
Are you suggesting I don't look the part?
Look is one thing, act the other.
Anyway, first things first.
Hmm?
I bid you welcome to Tuliyollal.
Thank you. Can't help it. Oh boy. So many people. Probably a lot more, but because Erenville is here, it's now clear for me. That's nice. Yeah, there are more. According to Erenville, the Vanu I thought I saw belonged to a clan known as the Hanu. It seems they share more than physical resemblance. What an amazing city. As lively as Ulda and even more colorful. Ah, it's so nice to feel that familiar breeze again. I wasn't sure my stomach could make it. And Crow should be somewhere here too. Yeah, down. Down here. Crow. I wonder what kind of trouble those soldiers are expecting. I don't know. Erenville? Well, despite the storm's efforts to the contrary, here we are, safe and sound. A new world to explore. Ah, the new sound. You have arrived in Tuliyollal. You can return to the city at any point by speaking with the swarting sailors in Scholar's Harbor in Old Shellion. Okay. Anything else? I would ask if the journey tired you, but I'm sure you've endured far worse. Yeah. Nation of Tuliyollal. While being on solid ground, as improved Uklamat's mood, her stomach appears to be lagging behind. Oh, she's hungry, I guess. Right then, first things first. Okay. I'm still a bit queasy. No more boats for a while. I realize we've just arrived, but we should get you familiar with the city before the Rite of Succession begins. Sounds good. No arguments here. I should very much like to explore. Then I'll guide you. Are you sure you're in any condition to do so? We were wondering who these strange folk were, so the third promise has found herself some new followers then? Followers? Why some new ones? Uklamat, are you unwell? No, not at all. I couldn't be better. The third promise does not get seasick, no sir. As for my hand-picked entourage here, I've recruited them to help me win the Rite of Succession. I was about to show them around the city, in fact. That sounds lovely. The group of foreigners is going to attract attention, especially if they're in the company of the third promise. Everyone will be curious. We certainly were. Your siblings have a tendency to command a respectful distance, but you're just so easy to approach. And I enjoy it so much when you do. Please, don't ever worry that you are bothered to me. You're very kind. Good day to you, third promise. They did have a point. Uklamat is technically royalty here. Like it or not, a person of her station surrounded by this many outsiders is bound to draw a crowd. Wait, what do you mean, technically? I suggest we move into groups so as to attract less attention. Just technically ignore me then? Ah. Ming-Na, you and Krell can come with me. I'll take the twins then. We'll get in touch once we've had a good look around. That voyage was hard on all of us, so take it slow and recuperate. We have time enough for that. Enjoy your wanderings. We will. Perhaps we should wait a bit, at least until Uklamat's nausea subsides. No need for that. Look, I'm ready to go. Ugh. Yeah. Tuliyollal isn't going anywhere. Let's give Uklamat a little more time. I'm found now, really. Can't stand around all day feeling sorry for myself. Wild with the contest looming on and all. Now then, seeing as we're already here, I might as well tell you about the harbor. Everyone already mentioned the reefs in our coastal waters, which explains why you don't see any big ships moored at the docks. Only vessels with shallow drafts can navigate the bay. Mostly small fishing boats or barges ferrying cargo up and down the rivers from inland settlements. Much more of the incoming traffic is from Yoktural, the southern landmass. The clans there produce various goods for export. The wares are unloaded here and carted off to the merchant stalls in the neighboring markets. Speaking of which, Bayside Bevy should be our next stop. And they will now accompany me. Okay. Yep, know that. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Yeah, there's one thing I wanted to mention before the quest started, or before the servants opened, to be honest. And that was, while I am great at remembering faces, remembering smells, places, locations, all of that sort, I am horrible at remembering names specifically. I know each and every button here, what it does, but I couldn't tell you the name of any of my buttons. It doesn't work. Names is my weakness. For buttons, for people, for places, I will know a place, how it looks like and everything, but I won't know the name. I will know a person, I will know the history of that person to the detail, except for the name. So you will probably see that a few times popping up during my videos, that I will be trying to remember the name desperately of a person or of a character, and just it won't come to my mind. Ba-da, ba-da, ba. Da-da, 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 da. Da-da, 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 da. The big gate to the north. Massive, isn't it? And on the other side is an equally massive bridge to match. Both were constructed by a race of giants, the Yok-Hoi, Hui, or so. Strictly speaking, Tural is actually two separate continents: Yok-Tural, the southern lands of the mother, and Jak-Tural, the northern lands of the father, which lie beyond the bridge. Legends say it used to be one great landmass, but long ago the two gods fought a titanic battle, and when one threw the other to the ground, the impact was so devastating as to split the continent into twain. A familiar sounding tale, and put in mind of the conflict between Hydaelyn and Zodiac. Yeah. But getting back to Jak-Tural, those lands are also part of the Tuliyollal nation, correct? That's right. Isn't my father incredible? He united the people of two continents into a single nation. The many clans of Tural had been at war for generations. It was only when Papa traveled the lands and put a stop to their myriad conflicts that we finally had peace. And that's the main reason I want to win the throne, so I can preserve the peace he built. But I see you're more interested in what's behind the gate than hearing about my aspirations. No, don't. Crossing the bridge of Jak-Tural requires a special travel pass. Unfortunately, they won't issue any new permits until the Rite of Succession is over. Okay, I just promise to get you one when I'm Darn Servant. Until then, you'll just have to wait. So that basically confirms it. It's two parts. First, the throne for her, and then we will go to the north, and things will get spicy. Then I'll make sure you win, mark my words. Yeah. You really mean that? Whoa! To anyone who stands between you and adventure. Okay. You must have covered half the city by now. Tuliyollal is unlike any other place I've visited. I'm thoroughly enjoying myself. That's nice. And a weapon that's completely useless, but okay. The City of Stairs. The second half of the tour. Here we go. Ba 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 ra ba. Ba 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 ra ba 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 ra ba. Beautiful. People in the chat freaking out. It's the first time that we hear the day theme. Perfect finish for the music. This is it, the Arch of the Dawn. When the giants were still here, it was known as the Yogg-Tural Landgate. But when Papa founded Tuliyollal, everyone began using its present name in honor of his great achievement. Through this gate is Kosamauka, the wetlands south of the city. Depending on what the Rite of Succession asks of us, we might end up going in that direction. Kosamauka, the name alone is intriguing. Speaking of which, what were those fluffy animals we passed earlier? Wait, we passed... Oh yeah, we did. Alpaca. Ah, they're cute. Ah, those are alpaca. They're some four-legged fiends. Well, fearsome, they seem quite placid to me. You'll learn soon enough, Kral. You'll learn soon enough. Okay. But forget the alpacas, I have something far more important to show you. Come along. What's special about these pills, if I may ask? At a glance, they might look like ordinary stone decorations. But if you take a really good look, you'll see there's something much more interesting. Okay. New music. Yeah, they're all different. Slightly. Pictures? Wait, no. These are glyphs. They seem to tell a series of stories, many of them featuring a two-headed mammal Jah. Oh, then this must be? That's right, it follows the exploits of my father, Gulu Jaja, and his journey to unite the lands we call the Tuliyollal Saga. The deeds he performed and the bonds he forged, all immortalized in stone. There's no better way to learn how Tuliyollal came to be. Study them as long as you like. Ah. Nice. Which way? Left, right? Lay of Brotherhood. This pill tastes the Lay of Brotherhood. It depicts the scene where Papa granted an audience to the foreign explorer Cat something. Yeah. I know who, but I forgot his name already. I don't know which one. I can never remember the name. You mean Ketenram? Yeah, that one. Ah, yes, that's the one. Ketenram's arrival in Tural is what prompted Papa to embark on his own journey. It's said the two grew to be close friends, brothers in spirit, if not in blood, but no one knows what became of the explorer in later years. Ketenram's disappearance is a mystery in Northia as well. The records say he traveled between our lands, our land and yours, for a while, but then it assumed he was lost at sea. Here we have the Lay of Reeds. This is a story of when Papa visited the Hanu Hanu in their village in Kosamauka. Ah, the people Alfino almost mistook for Vanu Vanu, if not for the colorful plumage. He spent a fair bit of time among the Vanu in the Sea of Clouds. It's no surprise he took an interest in your countrymen. I don't know how it is with your Vanu, but our Hanu are a bright and cheerful sort. They hold this one festival every year, very famous and a lot of fun. Lay of Pots. Ah, Oh, let's see, this lay of pots, which depicts the moblins of Kozomauka. They might wear old masks and sound weirdly muffled when they talk, but the gold and silver work they sell is the best you'll find anywhere. Moblin goods are the standard when it comes to gift giving. Clearly the Vanu aren't the only people with distant Turali counterparts. Yep. And the lay of repast? Repast, I think. As you can probably tell, the figure depicted here is of the Xbral, like me. For decades, the Xbral and the Mamulja were at war for control of the forest of Yaktel. The actions Papa took to end that conflict have since been hailed as the first steps in the founding of Tuliyollal. There is a clan of Hrothgar in Bolsja known as the He Lions. In their society, the women rule as queens and the men serve as devoted subjects. Yet here in Tural, Xbral men and women appear to be of equal status. How dramatically cultural can vary with location. If you're done with the first half, we can move on to the second. Yep. Lay of Gold. Oh, that's the one that we will get. The Lay of Gold. This pillar shows one of the Peru, whose homeland is in Urukopacha. Having created our currency, the Peru are rightfully known as the merchant clan. They oversee Tuliyollal's market, and their traveling peddlers are a common sight no matter where you go in Tural. Don't let their size fool you. They might be mistaken as children, but beneath those beaked masks, they are clever and calculating traders. I mean, I'm a Lalafell, so we are traders too. Oh, this one is my favorite, the Lay of Ice. It depicts the battle with the legendary Tural Vidral Valigarmanda. I should explain that Tural Vidral is a creature that has lived far beyond its usual lifespan and awakened to perpetual power. Tataru described the Far Eastern auspices in a similar fashion. Could this be the same phenomenon? Probably. Valigarmanda itself has dubbed the Sky Rune, a name earned for the destruction and terror it visited upon Tural every time it stirred from its slumber. But 80 years or so ago, its rune's reign was brought to an end. After a great struggle, Papa and his comrades managed to overcome the raging Vidral and sealed it away in the Urukopacha mountains. Despite its reputation, however, Valigarmanda is also shown a symbol of power. That's why you see its likeness on Tuliyollal's nation emblem and adoring the banners at the palace. Okay. Yeah, it's still there, we know. A blank pillar. Ah, this one is unmarked. Papa says he left a blank pillar for the next chapter of Tuliyollal's history, whatever that might be. Oh, so we will fill that one. Probably. Lay of Proof. Ah, the Lay of Proof. That big fellow is of the Yokhyo, the largest of Tural's people. These giants once used their great size and strength to establish a dominion encompassing all of Yok Tural. Having brought the southern reaches to heel, they then turned northwards, setting their sights on Chaktural. You recall that massive bridge they built beyond the Skygate? Sometime after launching the northern campaign, however, they just gave up. They abandoned the lands they would conquer and withdrew into the mountains of Urukopacha. Never even seen any of their kind so much as set foot in the city. This was a people with the power and resourcefulness to raise a temple on a mountaintop and build a bridge across the sea and stone. What would move them to renounce their ambitions and their palace in Turali history? Their place in Turali history? We don't know. Add your fill? Yep. So they did found something. They Didn't like. Glad to hear. You know, I feel awfully hungry all of a sudden. No surprise there being... no surprise there, seeing I couldn't keep any down for a while, but now I think I'm ready to eat again. Let's go and have ourselves a bite of a local delicacy. Come, I'll take you to the best restaurant in the city. I like the sound of that. Me too. Have you ever had tacos? They're a Tuliyollal classic. You bake a crusty shell made from corn flour and fill it with meat and salad. A lot of shops and stalls sell them, but I like how they're made here at FFXIV Best, I think. And I need one right in front of me right now. Yeah, let's head downstairs and place an order with old Bruuk Evu. That's the name again. This is the owner. Don't let his unassuming appearance fool you. When it comes to making tacos, he is the greatest artisan in all of Tural. Every dish looks delicious. At the risk of sounding like Vuklamat, the mere sight of so much fine cuisine is making me ravenous. Well, I can't really see it. Ah, yeah. And it's even voiced.
My companions must sample your heavenly tacos. One for each of us, please.
Right away, promise. And I'll pack them tight with my choicest feelings. Only the best for you and your friends.
Thank you.
Did you hear the silver scales are back? Seems their overseas foray ended in disaster. More than half their warband is missing, including their leader.
Silver scales.
Aye. And now keen to rebuild their broken reputations, the survivors seek the Golden City. A fool's errand. How many hopefuls have disappeared in search of that fable? They should count their lucky stars they came home alive at all.
The legend of the Golden City is well known here, I take it.
It is, but as no one's ever seen it, many question if there is any truth to the tale. Like our skeptical Erinville.
I can't imagine the Dawn Servant would request a formal survey for a place that doesn't exist.
Yeah. Or maybe it does. We will see. I'm sure we will find it in the end. We just have to at this point.
Now to find a spot with a pleasant view to enjoy our crunchy spoils.
Won't they get soggy in the back? I hope not.
Oh.
Aww.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Ah. It's him.
If it isn't the third promise.
Oh. No.
Ready for some trouble?
I don't know these ones. New salt.
Dredge from foreign waters is my guess, brother.
Of course, that's it. Wuklamat is so afraid of the coming contest that she went crying for special help.
Was there something you wanted, Bakul Jaja?
The third promise remembers us. Such an honor.
Yeah.
Glory on your name, brother.
Bakulja the Mystic, okay. Bakulja the Mighty, okay.
And on yours, brother.
I know my rivals for the throne. Nothing more.
Another child of the Dawn Servant?
No, this brute.
We have no ties to their farce of a family. Unlike the sneeveling house cat, we are blessed siblings, the elevated chosen. We alone are fit to succeed Golul Jaja as Dawn's servant.
All peoples are equal in Tuliyollal. Your heritage gives you no greater claim to the throne.
Shall we test that idea here and now? See if your strength is equal to ours.
We can give it a try.
None of this has any bearing on the Rite of Succession, correct? Best not waste your energies on pointless scuffles.
Well said, to be honest, but I could use some warm-up.
The kitten comes to the house cat's defense.
Pathetic. Since when was our nation overrun by mewling weaklings?
You will learn soon enough.
Me, you.
Just some smack talk.
A two-headed mamulja. I knew of them, but that's the first I've seen in the flesh.
Yeah, I've seen
Some get
one
into
already.
their twin heads that they're destined to follow in my father's footsteps. So they travel to distant lands to hone their battlecraft. Those are likely the ones you've heard about.
Ah, okay.
Are there other two-headed claimants?
No, just Bakul Jaja. Even in Tural, his kind are far from common. The Mamulja people largely belong to one of three clans. The Hubigo,
Okay.
the Bunewa, and the Dopro.
I will...
Every once in the great while, a two-headed offspring is born from a union between the brown-scaled Hubigo and the blue-scaled Bunewa. The child grows to possess immense strength, both physical and magical.
I probably won't be able to remember these names, but yeah. Hubigo and Buniwa.
Blessed siblings indeed.
Forget them. Let's go and buy more tacos. I can think of nothing better to rid me of this bad taste in my mouth.
Or not.
Enjoying your tour of the city, I trust. We've seen our share of notable sights and took a moment to rest. As such, we're ready to present ourselves at the palace for the Rite of Succession. Shall we meet you there?
The
Sounds
palace it is. I'll let Wuklamart know. Destiny calls. Perhaps we can return for more tacos later?
Yeah, I hope so.
So it goes.
I was looking forward to trying some authentic Tuliyollal cuisine, but we should hurry and join Alfin and the others at the palace. Alright, it's a bit of a climb to the top, but you can head up from the Resplendent Quarter or even the eastern side of Talon March, if you prefer. Now that you have an idea of how the city is laid out, I'll let you find your own way to Volok Junza. Oh, my poor empty belly. Here we go. Ba-da-ba-ba-da. Sounds like there are a lot of people here already. Yep. Oh. Hey you. The food is amazing. Passing Mamulcha, let us try a fruit called Cherimoya, and it was just sublime. I cast a double. We saw a two-headed Mamulcha on our way here, another claimant to the Rite of Succession according to Erenville. And Erenville is right here. Do you have a better feel for the city now? Yeah, I think. Kryl. There are so many narrow winding streets, but even if you get lost, all you have to do is just keep heading up and you'll arrive at the End Palace entrance. You made it, good, then we are here. I'm still hungry enough to eat a whole roasted colibri, but the contest won't wait for us forever. The Rite of Succession, Erenville has been waiting patiently for your arrival. I've acquainted the twins with the city as best as I could in a short time. Their unbridled enthusiasm made it rather difficult. Invariably, something would catch their eye, spurring them to run down an alley to investigate. It was like herding a pair of unruly curs. I understand all too well. Charlian had the same effect on me. True. Right then, now it's time we saw the inside of the palace. Papa will want to know I'm home, and to meet the allies I've chosen. Given how impulsive he is, though there's no telling what we might be in for. Well, I mean... sadly we already know. He is actually fighting Estinian right now. I don't know why, but he is. As I said, he is fighting Estinian. What are you doing?
When did he get here?
What's the point? Why is he here?
Yeah, that's better. The better question.
You know this man? Whenever my father spots a promising opponent, he invites them to Sunperch to duel.
Ah, okay.
Pressing duties or no, he can't resist a good fight.
Even at his age?
So the one Estinian is crossing blades with.
Good old Chacha. And I'm just standing there. That's funny. Yep. Everybody else was shielding.
That will do, Spearman. I will receive my darling daughter.
Everybody else was shielding their views and getting cover, and I was just standing there. That was funny.
Know that you are the strongest I fought in many a moon, if not longer. It is the privilege of a life long lived to face such a formidable soul.
If it's formidable you want, then look no further than that man there.
Mm-hmm. Lolly-ho.
I see you, warrior.
We had no idea you meant to visit Tural.
I've seen what lies east. This time I chose west.
And thus did our itinerant dragoon make his travel plans.
Yep.
You witnessed
basically.
the bout. If you thought he was fearsome, that was with one head dozing.
The other is sleeping, okay.
I'm not sure I understand.
The old man has been feeling his years. The uncovered side is the head of resolve, and age has only deepened his love for combat. But the head of reason, wiser of the two, sleeps more and more these days. As I understand it, the veil helps with the restoration of his magical energies.
Okay.
Enough about me, Lamati. I want to hear of your adventures.
Ah, it's just another name, Lamati.
Lamati?
I like that.
A term of endearment. It's what my family calls me.
That's a nice name. That is quite the model.
Oh. When last did we see you in the palace? Greetings, Solanash.
It's Erenville now, Dawn Servant.
Okay. So he also has a name.
I took the name while abroad, and have since grown accustomed to it.
Erenville, then.
Hmm.
And these others? I assume are Lamati's recruited allies. Ha! Old-tempered still. Yet as much as I'd enjoy testing their mettle, the hour of the right is at hand. I will summon the other claimants at once.
Then I shall leave you to it. Good fortune, my friends.
We will see you again. Sooner or later, I know. Until then. Bagul Jaja. He also isn't happy to see him, it seems. Here we are, all four.
The claimants are assembled. The first promise, Zorolja. The second promise, Ona.
Where is his entourage?
The third promise, Uklamat. And lastly, the chosen of Mamuk, Bakun Jaja. You four will compete in the Rite of Succession, the outcome of which will decide who takes my place as Dawn Servant.
The gold of the throne looks really good. Just saying.
I am not the man I once was. My wiser half sleeps the days away. And it is time I yield my position. But mine is a torch that has never been passed. Tuliyollal is young. And so I look to the always for inspiration. The Rite of Succession. The means by which the autarch of Mamuk was chosen. Only the two-headed were deemed fit for this contest. But the Tuliyollal I built is a nation of many peoples. Our leader needn't have two heads, nor be a Mamulja at all.
He doesn't like it.
Give the right of claimant, not only to the son I sired, but to my adopted children as well. Yet the opportunity to rule was still not equal. That is why a recent tournament offered a place in the contest as the winning prize.
Okay, so that's how he got in. He did already prove himself to be worthy.
You have us to compete against. Oh, though it seems the One-Head was already too afraid to face us in the tournament.
Our brother was in Shock Tural, leading the Landsguard on a campaign to eradicate a Tural Vidral.
Okay.
Anyone with sense would know he was too busy for games.
So there are more Vidrals out there.
Now for the part you've been waiting to hear. The nature of the contest itself. To triumph in the Rite of Succession, and thereby claim our nation's throne, you must travel the lands of Tural.
That was a weird cut, but okay.
And find the City of Gold.
If I may, Father.
Speak, Kona.
The Golden City is an ancient Turali legend, but after so many failed attempts to find it, the story has become more fairy tale than fact. If you would charge us with such a quest, are we then to assume you have proof of the city's existence?
Good question. The logical one.
Proof my unbroken word, for I have seen it with my own 4 eyes.
Okay.
The city's real. All those years.
This was before the founding of Tuliyollal. I traveled the lands of Tural with my companions. And we ended our journey at the gates to the Golden City. I mean to have you do the same. But in order to achieve victory proper, you need to break the seal I put in place.
Okay.
Bring them.
What can't he do? He seems to be an incredibly powerful leader. Almost too powerful, but so far so good. And where are our other 2 companions? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Shouldn't there be 7?
The Tuliyollal Saga.
You will retrace the path I walked to unite our peoples, step by step. Along the way, 7 chosen electors will be waiting to measure your worth. Earn their keystones by performing the feats they ask of you. Once you've fitted each of the 7 tablets with the keystone, you'll have the key to unlock the seal on the Golden City's gates.
So basically there are 7, not 8, but 7 gyms that we have to fight to get the gym badge that we can then go through the victory road. Yeah, let's continue.
So the contest
Sorry.
is in stages, none of which can be skipped by rushing to the ultimate objective.
Exactly. Exciting, isn't it?
Martial tournaments, hunting festivals, and now this? You do so love your contests, Papa.
Were I a few years younger, I would have joined in myself, giving you a proper challenge. You may think the ride is tedious or nonsensical, or both. I am yielding our nation's throne. Let me have this final indulgence.
A waste of time. Just name Bakunja just successor and be done with it.
The Rite of Succession begins now. I'll be watching your progress with great interest. And Clemens, remember to collect your tablets before you leave.
Hmm? Ah, because of the letter, yeah.
You are one of Lamachi's allies. Speak freely.
And daughter to Galuf.
Baldessian, representative of the students of Baldessian. My name is perhaps familiar to you?
Ah.
It would seem you sent this letter to my orders some years ago. The ink has since faded and much of the writing is illegible. Even so, we managed to determine the essence of it. A request to investigate the Golden City, addressed to my grandfather, Galuf. Included with the correspondence was this earring. A fairy tale and a piece of jewelry were enough to convince my grandfather to sail halfway across the world. So there is surely some greater mystery at work here. On behalf of the students, I've come to seek clarification on the matter. Have you any knowledge you might share with me?
No, not at this time.
Okay.
I have tasked the claimants with finding the Golden City. To fulfill your request would afford one of them an unfair advantage in the Rite of Succession.
True.
But once the contest is decided, I plan to entrust the entire truth to my successor. If you want to hear it, then you had best help Lamachi win.
Very well, Dawn Servant. On my honor as a student of Baldessian, I will find your Golden City. Thank you for hearing my petition.
Maybe the other head would have reacted differently. Maybe. But it's asleep, so...
How about that? She's grown into a remarkable young woman. You should be proud, Galuf.
Oh, now it's struggling a bit with so many people.
Too late to change your mind now, I suppose. But are you sure you wish to be part of this? Our third promise is not wont to take no for an answer. Though you may have agreed to help, I worry that you were swept up in her relentless enthusiasm.
I mean, there's nothing else to do, so...
Lured by the glory of the Golden City. Either way, this contest for the throne will place you and yours at the heart of political turmoil. If you are second-guessing your decision, tell me now. This may be my last chance to help you withdraw.
And miss out?
Life is a series of journeys, my friend. And there's no telling what awaits us on the long road. But what's important is to be true to yourself as you walk it. Only then can we hope to be content when we arrive at the end of one and step forward into another.
I want to see. where his journey leads.
So you are committed to your path? I will speak no more of it then. As for my own involvement, I can no longer conduct myself as a mere guide, I think. Not after the Dawn Servant's revelation.
Yeah. You're much more important.
Here they come! It's Saralja! Such a fearsome mien. Make no mistake, there goes Tuliyollal's mightiest warrior.
First promise, our village needs aid. The cold weather stunts our crops, and the children of our village go hungry. Once you ascend the throne, I beg of you, grant my people new lands, please!
Saralja. Take heart, tiller of the soil. The resilient son, blood heir to the Dawn Servant, has heard your pleas.
Why is he not speaking for himself?
Saralja, the first promise and commander of the Landsguard. Saralja, the Palaceer. As he was so careful to remind the crowd, Saralja is indeed the natural child of Gurul Jaja.
Okay.
And Resilient Son, is that another title, like the first promise?
After a fashion. Common knowledge has it that two-headed Mamulja cannot sire children, yet Saralja was born all the same, with the head of Resolve's features and the head of Reason's scales. An extraordinary example of life's unyielding resilience.
Okay. Unless...
And a warrior's reticence. He says little, but the way he moves... I know a hardened soldier when I see one.
He's a natural swordsman, a gift he inherited from his father. Some even say that the son has already surpassed the sire. Should he come to power, the first promise means to employ that martial prowess in the conquest of foreign lands. For this, he and his supporters have been labeled expansionists.
Okay.
This puts him in direct opposition to Wuklamat, who advocates for the preservation of peace. You may recall that she spoke of a claimant who cannot be allowed to rule. That is Saralja, the warmonger.
Okay.
Prial, are you alright?
Hmm?
The echo. It gave me a glimpse into Saralja's ambitions. Deep and unknowable, like an abyss. Yet at the same time, a roaring, unquenchable fire. It was a trifle terrifying, to be frank.
The stupid echo. And... rest. Not yet here, okay.
Second promise, you must bring us more marvelous conveniences. More dirigibles and trains and the like. We need you in charge to make trading easier. The elders, they complain and complain about abandoning tradition. But we're not like them, afraid of everything foreign and new. You have our wholehearted support. With your ingenuity and knowledge, you're sure to win the contest.
Yeah, here's one that likes tech
but the Rite of Succession
and
is
knowledge.
barely begun. I will hear your petitions if and when I am named Dawn Servant.
And he likes advancement.
If you will excuse me.
Plain spoken, as always. That's Arcona. Practical to a fault.
It's just Kona, the A is silent in that case, okay.
Here we have Kona, the second promise.
Or a longer A,
Time as
a longer O.
Charlian's own studio.
Now that you mention it, I think I did see him in the halls once or twice. There was nothing to suggest he was Turali, much less from a royal family.
That was by design. He forwent his usual garb and took an Eorzean name to avoid attention.
So it was Kona who introduced the dirigibles. And the railway too, given what we just heard.
In furtherance of his goal, to enrich Tuliyollal with every bright notion he learned of in Sharlayan. He is the hope of those who prize innovation. As aloof as he may seem, Kona and Wuklamat actually get along rather well. They bicker and banter as only close siblings do.
Well, you too, so...
How gracious of you all to cheer the lesser Glavans.
Only one half, basically.
Oh, come now. What are you afraid of? I'm no different from your Dawn servant. That my kind should reign is Mamulja tradition, and has been so since before there was a Tuliyollal. I'll brush aside your feeble contenders, and then you'll see who deserves your deity.
Well said, brother.
The Mamulja have finally found peace in Tuliyollal. I pity those fanatics are intent on keeping that tradition alive.
The chosen of Mamuk, Bakul Jaja, winner of the recent martial tournament, and the only claimant not of the Dawn's promise. His strength is undeniable, but you see how he is. A few devoted Mamulja are his only supporters.
And now everybody's leaving.
What would he do with the throne should he win it?
Even though Wuklamat still hasn't come out.
His policies and so forth. I doubt he's thought much beyond winning the contest itself. But one thing seems certain. If he does become Dawn servant, he will see the Mamulja exalted as the ruling class, and all others forced into subservience.
Sounds like another that cannot be allowed to rule.
Where are they all leaving?
We wish for one thing and one thing only, third promise. To abide together in harmony with our neighbors whom we love in this land we share. It is our way, the Turoli way.
Galul Jaja built for us this peaceful nation, and we beg you to preserve it.
You have my word. I won't let your pleas go unanswered.
Until Tuliyollal was founded some 80 years ago, this continent was ravaged by war. The eldest among us remember that dark era, and they are Wuklamat's most ardent supporters.
Apologies, it's hard to get away. This is Namika, my childhood nursemaid. She's been like a mother to me my whole life. I told her it wasn't necessary, but she insisted on seeing us off.
I place our precious third promise into your care.
Did you know Wuklamat was taking part in the Rite of Succession?
Of the Dawn's promise? I thought it was only Zoralja and Kona. If she has any accomplishments to her name, I've yet to hear them.
Compared to the two Mamulja, she pales in martial prowess.
And then there's Kona, who's far and away the most educated of the bunch. I hate to say it, but it's hardly a competition.
It's fine. More than anyone, I understand how much better my brothers are than me.
Better? Woklamat. I have never thought of you as the lesser sibling.
One might be more knowledgeable, the other a bit more powerful or stronger, but this doesn't mean anything, to be honest. There are more things than just power in mind.
Your brothers may excel in their respective ways, but you boast qualities that both lack. A strength that is yours alone. Having cared for you for so long, I should know.
Thank you, Namika. Well, we ought to be on our way.
And she has to find it herself as well, I guess.
Yes, hurry along. I await word of your victory with bated breath.
And if it is power or knowledge you need, that's why we are here. Oh, suddenly night. Well, so much for the brief reunion I had in mind. Papa is not one to waste time when he decides to act. I'm used to it by now, of course, but also often caught off guard. In any case, we should talk about how we're going to find the City of Gold. All we have to work with are the 7 tablets and their connection to the Tuliyollal saga. Might I suggest first comparing the tablets against the pillars? We could check for any discrepancies between them. Good idea. Let's go and take a look. That makes everyone. Woklamat, the tablets if you would. Of course. Everyone has a tablet, and let's compare them to their respective pillars. Keep an eye out for even the smallest difference. Which one do I have? Kral has that one, yeah. He has Valigarmanda. Unless I'm missing something, the glyphs appear to be identical. The only difference being that the tablets have hollows where the keystones are to be fitted. So now that we've established that the scenes are the same, where do we go from here? The Dawn Servant said we were to retrace the path he walked in uniting Tural's people, and that we would encounter 7 electors along the way. When we have the then we have the answer here in front of us. Papa's path is all laid out in the Tuliyollal saga. The events the glyphs portray. Do we know the exact locations where they took place? If one is close, we could go there and search for an elector. That would confirm we're on the right track. Let me think. The Alley of Reeds was in the nearby Hanu settlement. Papa took me there once. It was during festival season, and the whole village was alive with good cheer. There's also the Alley of gold. That one involved the Peru village, which is about the same distance from here. Yeah, to split up. That always comes at this point in time. Before going anywhere, we should ask around about the road ahead. I heard a lot of talk as we toured the city about that storm we passed through at sea. Okay. Apparently, it ravaged Tuliyollal several days ago. Since our roads are not as well paved as yours is, they're more susceptible to damage from natural disasters. If you want to avoid wasting time taking a dead-end trail, I suggest we spend a few moments making inquiries. If it's information we need. Oh? Just leave it to me, I'll bring the information to us. Well, that is her strength. It would be prudent to ensure we're prepared for the journey. I'll guide you to the accommodations I've arranged. Finally, I thought we would probably sooner or later get to a place where we can rest. That's right, reservation is under Wuglamat's name. If you don't mind, I'll leave my companions to you. Certainly, sir. I'll go and track down the third promise. Once you've finished organizing your gear, you can meet us outside FFXIV Stuff. Still difficult to pronounce all these names. Greetings, visitor to Tuliyollal, and welcome to the Four Arts Cabins. Whenever you're ready, I'll show you to your rooms. Thank you. Let's go. Now we can... I want to see them. That looks really nice. An ending journey. It's laid out towards the setting sun, not the morning sun, but that's okay. Very nice, very cozy. Trust you be the keenest to head out, Ming-Na. Ah, good. You're all here. Seeing as we need information, I thought who better to get it from than the locals. These two hail from the villages we're thinking to visit. I give you credit for taking initiative at least. What do you mean at least? I'm honored that the third promise would seek my advice. I too am happy to answer your questions. Any encounter might be an opportunity to do business. Thank you both for your help. Now before we begin, there will doubtless be other occasions when we need to act independently, so I brought these for the two of you. Oh, link pearls? Are we finally acknowledging that link pearls exist? Yeah, gemstone harvested from a special shell. When linked together, they allow people to communicate across great distances. Is that so? What a handy thing you have. It'll be very useful on our travels. Speaking of which, I should get back to introducing my two new friends here. Tuliyollal Saga features a number of Tuliyollal clans. Two of those, the Hanu Hanu and the Peru Peru, have settlements relatively close to the city, so I brought a representative of each. As I mentioned before, the Hanu are a cheerful people who love their festivals. They make their appearances in the Lay of Reeds, and their home village, Ok Hanu, is located in Kozumauka. The other smaller fellow is one of the Peru, a clan of business-minded folk from Urukupacha. They appear in the Lay of Gold, and craft all kinds of marvelous goods in Wachumpelo, their village. Now, as for deciding which village to visit first, why don't you put an adventurous instinct of yours to work for us, Mingno? Pick your destination. Ah, okay. So for once I can only do one first. I don't want to go into the jungle or the Andes. Let's start here. To Urukupacha.